What's up, everybody? How's it going? Welcome to the live stream. How are you all doing this fine Monday? Do me a favor, check in on the comments and let me know how we are sounding. Are we loud and clear? Before I get this show rolling, of course, my mouse died right as I went live. Once again, how's it going? This is Surviving Rocklahoma, your official podcast of Rocklahoma. I am your host with the Locks that Rocks, Adam Richmond, and we are live on a Monday night as we usually do this time of year, this time of the week. I see you folks already hopping in the comments. Look at you all, folks. I tell you what, share your live stream, man. Share this. Sharing is caring. That's how you support your local podcast, just like you support your local music. And we've got a little bit of something for everybody tonight. We're going to be recapping Rocklahoma, as well as, actually, we're going to be including the interview with the Bad Wolves. I'm so excited. That was one of my big check marks for the weekend at Rocklahoma. We're also going to check in from Born and Raised and feature a awesome band that I met and I got to hang out with a little bit at the festival. We had an awesome interview and we're going to feature one of their tracks. After that, we're going to talk a little bit about Rock the Equinox, the free festival coming up this weekend in Lake John Wells, Stigler, Oklahoma. I hope to see everybody out there. We will be out there providing coverage that includes Angel from Photography by Angel Lee. Will be getting some great images. We're going to holler at her here in a little bit. Yeah, I tell you what, let's go ahead and pay some bills so we can get this show rolling. And, let me fix there we go. With that being said, there we go. DEB Concerts. I wanna rock! Bringing you rock at Rocklahoma for several years. Oh my gosh. Several years, over a decade, y'all. And they did it again this year. They rocked the Roadhouse at the DEB stage inside the Roadhouse. Also, he's got a couple of gigs coming up here in the near future. Let me see if I can find one of them. No, I don't have any queued up, but ladies and gentlemen, follow DEB Concerts because they've got some great shows featuring local artists as well. Also want to give some love to At Your Service Rentals, Brett and the crew, and they just nailed it out of the park. They took care of everybody at Rocklahoma and Born and Raised, and they were telling me that everybody was awesome. They had little to no problems out there at Rocklahoma, so glad that we had Britt and the Pooh crew taking care of us. We were able to get our own services at our campsite, so we were able to squat in confidence, not like that guy over there standing in line. Hey, buddy, what are you doing?
Dinner was full!
Yeah, I didn't call At Your Service Rentals. I want to give some love to Rockavet. Congratulations to Rockavet. By the way, they have officially got their certification in hand, and they are a national 501c nonprofit taking care of our veterans because they believe that music is medicine, and they get that medicine to as many veterans as they possibly can. And we've given over 100 passes away over the last couple of years to Rocklahoma, not to mention Born and Raised and other festivals in the area. So make sure you check them out on Facebook. Give them some love to Jason and all of the other crew that helps all that going. I see a couple of those folks in there. What is up, Heath Wadsworth of Black Pearl, or should I say Pearl Sounds? Y'all check that out. It's got some really cool things that he's going to be doing with that. I also see Christian Hopkins is in the comments. The Shirtless MC, staying trippy. What's up, Brandy? Nicole. There, let's get those chats up on the screen. There we go. You can see yourselves now. Throw some love out there. Also want to give a shout out to the Rocklahoma bitches. Hey, these guys can say it better than I can.
Rocklahoma, bitches.
Yeah, that's right. That was Taylor and crew, of the Vended. We got to sit down with them, and man, they've got an amazing story. Y'all check them out on the YouTube channel. They had a ball giving us that line, and they also rocked that stage, kind of like the Rocklahoma bitches and Redneck bitches do at both festivals and the local music scene, just supporting everybody and everything. If you've got a musical talent or whatever, you're going to gig out there, they're probably going to be in the crowd eventually. Also want to give a lot of love to photography by Angel Lee, our trusted photographer for over 3 years now. We've traveled the country twice, and we're going to be traveling down to Stigler, Oklahoma this weekend, where she's going to be capturing photos of the crowd. She also just dropped a ton, over 200 photos from Rock the River Music Festival. You can see them on Photography by Angel Lee on Facebook. Make sure that you hit that follow button and share your friends. And if you find yourself in there, make sure you tag yourself and all of your friends, but always make sure that you give credit to your photographer anytime you share a professional photo. Also, folks, we want to give a lot of love to the big old bus, who will be at Rock the Equinox this year, and they will be bringing not only the usual excitement that we see at Rocklahoma, albeit a little toned down a little bit, but they will also have that more family-friendly affair during the day, stuff for you and the kiddos to do together. And I tell you what, that Friday night, we are going to be hosting once again the lip sync battle on the big old bus. And if you would like to come out there Friday night, it's a free event, Lake John Wells, Stigler, Oklahoma. If you wanted to be a rock star, it's fine. You don't have to be able to sing, because the mic's going to be mute and you guys are just going to lip sync. You've seen the TV show, you know how to do it. Go for broke, y'all. I am happy to be hosting that one at the big old bus. We also want to give some love to the Metalcore Clothing. I thought I had their graphic fixed, but apparently I didn't. But they have been producing some amazing shirts for us. They've got the new design this year, the tribal skull. You see it everywhere. And then a couple months earlier, they did a great design supporting, proud member of my local music scene. And we will have those shirts at Rock the Equinox this weekend at Stigler. I'll be slinging shirts at you throughout the day. We'll be set up at our vendor booth. So come out and meet us and pick up a shirt, because every shirt you buy supports the podcast. You got to get gas in the tanks. Our poor photographer's driving like 6 hours or more from Branson. So y'all buy some shirts so we can recoup some of that. With that, and speaking of, I tell you what, before we move on to the next, we have a tradition as our last sponsor. Prior Liquors, Wines, and Spirits, Liquor Daddy, who took care of all of the, well, I don't want to say took care of, but participated and sponsored several camps out there in the campgrounds. And I want to thank him for donating those amazing trophies that we gave away to the best campsite contest. We'll talk about that here in a second. But before we do that, I always open a beer that I've acquired from Prior Liquor, Wines, and Spirits. And man, I'm really into that Einger. Y'all tell me how to pronounce that. Let me get out my trusty bottle opener. You guys get your drinks ready. Sure. All right. I'll blow over this time. Alrighty, folks, we appreciate everybody for tuning in. On behalf of Surviving Rocklahoma and Prior Liquors, Wines, and Spirits, cheers, everybody. Man, those are good. Oh my gosh, I lied. Well, luckily, this is a commercial for those ShamWows, those Walmart Sham Claws. Never fails. I'm done with bottles. I'm going back to cans. There we go. All right, so enough of that. Yeah, party foul and a half. All right, I think I took care of that. So, the Lincoln Daddy, a.k.a. the Godfather. All right. I tell you what, let's go ahead and crack into the show. And we are going to do that by recapping Rocklahoma. You know, we did some really cool things out there. Okay. Yeah. So, we were so blessed to be media this year and work inside the media tent. I only had a couple of interviews scheduled, which is the norm for, that festival. You don't always get everybody you want. You just kind of send out a mass request for all of the interviews. And even though I only had a couple scheduled, we picked up several extra interviews. You can find all of the interviews we did at Rocklahoma this past year on the YouTube channel. We've even got a playlist, so you can just hit play and watch them all if you wanted. But this one wasn't on my schedule list, but fortunately, I've got an amazing photographer who knows how to get a hold of these bands and get them to sit down for a few minutes and talk with us. So, Angel Lee, thank you so much for snagging Bad Wolves for us, and here is the interview. I am your host with the Locks That Rocks, Adam Richmond, and this is the official podcast of Rocklahoma, Surviving Rocklahoma, and I am joined by a special guest that was a bit of a surprise for us. What is up from the Bad Wolves? DL. What up, buddy?
What's up, man? How are you?
Dude, I am so excited to visit with you. I've been following you guys for so long, and I'm so glad to see you play in Rocklahoma. Can you tell me a little bit about what's going on with the band right now?
The band right now, we just announced an awesome tour in November with our friends Pop Evil. We're so excited. It's going to be a banger, amazing bands, amazing venues. It's going to be great. And we're also gearing up with that tour to release a deluxe edition of our last album, Die About It, on Better Noise Records. So there'll be some new music, new tours, new everything.
You bring a lot to the band. Can you tell me a little bit about the direction where things are going while keeping true to the fan base?
I think because all of the guys in this band have been playing music for so long, I think with every release, our mainstay, the number one objective every release or record that we do, even every song that we write, is we try to just challenge ourselves as musicians, and we try to challenge the norm. There's a lot of bands kind of doing, give or take, kind of the same thing, same
Sure.
sound. There's a lot of that going on, so we like to not, we like to pay attention to that and not fall into that trap, because it's easy. We don't like to do the same album twice in a row. We don't ever want to do that. So
I feel that. And speaking of, Die About It has got so many overtones of resiliency. Can you tell me a little bit about that overtone and those messages coming out in your album?
Yeah, I think we just try to, lyrically and message-wise, we try to relate to everybody. We try to keep, and I also don't go into too much detail on what the lyrics are about or what any specific song is about, because I know growing up for me, it was important for me to form my own opinion when I was listening to something, and after the fact, I would already be in love with this thing, and I would then find out after the band or the artist would tell me in detail what that song is about, and it would kind of ruin it for me. So with that experience, I don't want to do that for other people. So I like to let people form their own opinion on what the song means to them. So that's really important.
I love it. What are you bringing to Rocklahoma today?
Oh, I mean, I think we're bringing the typical Bad Wolves full contact sport, big choruses, and we hope that everybody brought their singing voices, because we love it when the crowd sings back to us. We feed off of that energy,
right.
And it's like a very give and take thing with the band.
I feel it. Now, I know you're a very, very busy man, and you've got a lot of stuff going on, and you've got a set time to make today. Before I let you go, what is next? What after you're done here? What are we watching for next from the Bad Wolves?
We really want to work on a new album, new material. We're all big writers. Every guy in the band kind of like goes into their own corner, and then we meet in the middle. So we're really excited to just get working on new material and keep challenging ourselves.
I love it. Thank you so much for joining us. You know,
Thanks,
before I let every artist that I get to set with, I like to give them the opportunity to directly look into the eyes of the fans that's going to be watching them play at Rocklahoma. If you would look at the camera, the stage is yours. And just acknowledge your fans.
To everybody at Rocklahoma, we can't wait to see you. We are so humbled and grateful that we get to be here and we get to do this as a job. That's crazy that I even get to say that, and we appreciate every single one of you, and we can't wait to see you, and we can't wait to hear how beautiful your voices are when we're singing tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
again.
man.
It is such an honor meeting you.
Pleasure.
Again, for DL and the Bad Wolves, I am your host with the Locks That Rocks, the official podcast of Rocklahoma, Surviving Rocklahoma. Until next time, rock on. And that was my interview with DL, singer for the Bad Wolves, who absolutely just, killed it on stage. Who all played again? That's right. Avenged Sevenfold, Amazing, Evanescence, A Day to Remember, Disturbed, Skillet, Slipknot. Oh my gosh, let's not forget Lamb of God and Mastodon. Who was your favorite artist from Rocklahoma? I tell you, the standout for me, I was so happy to be able to not only bump into Giovanni and the Hired Guns, but catch a few minutes of their set. We also had a lot of friends that played. Dime Store Riot played. We featured them last week. Now, another band that has played Rocklahoma a couple of times, they even linked up with us during the pandemic. I see a few folks mention getting sick. You're dealing with all of that, the giant crowd bound to catch something. But you might remember a few years ago when the pandemic happened, we missed out on a Rocklahoma. Well, this band linked up with us, and we did Rock From Your Homa. And absolutely great group of guys. They've got a new track that they dropped about a month ago, but unfortunately we just had so much stuff going on in the show. Not only are they a Rocklahoma alum, but they've also played multiple years at Rock the Equinox in Stigler, Oklahoma, and they're not going to be there this year, but are able to catch their new single right here. Ladies and gentlemen, the bastard sons of rock and F and roll, Outlaw Devils. Once again, that was Outlaw Devils with their new single, House of Cards. Studio audience, give it up for me a little louder. That's right. All right, folks, be sure that you give those react videos in the comments and such. I see you all in there. Let's also give a special thanks to all of you who have been sending those stars. Ladies and gentlemen, the Stars Wars has begun. I see some folks already pulling out in lead. Now, what these Stars Wars are, it's little bits, little digital tip jar that we do, and this is how we support the show. And those of you who send those stars, the top donators will qualify for a special prize. I'm not sure what it could be. I'm not sure if it could just be a simple shirt or swag, or like the last month where we gave away Rocklahoma tickets. Now, the other way you can qualify for those prizes or whatever concert tickets come up my way, simply subscribe to the Facebook page. $4.99, cancel anytime, and you will automatically qualify for whatever giveaways that we come across in the coming month. So I tell you what, let's go ahead and rewind a couple of weeks and get back to Born and Raised Country Music Festival. Now, I know I got a lot of metal heads in the audience here. But you gotta give credit where credit is due. The country folk of Born and Raised, they showed up and showed out for that amazing lineup that we had. Cody Johnson, Hank Williams Jr., and Co Wetzel. We also, just like Rocklahoma, we got several interviews that weekend. I was so busy. Plus, I was so excited because the missus came out with me, and thank you everybody who came up and we spoke with at the festival, because she had a very good time, and I was so happy to get to watch Cody Johnson. Now, this man was sick, like he was not feeling good, and I mean, to the point to where, to my understanding, he had a nurse or somebody waiting close by that was with his production or whatever to make sure he was all right. And he said multiple times throughout the performance that he was under the weather, but you could not tell, or I couldn't tell. I've never seen him before. Highly entertaining. I became a Cody Johnson fan. I also had an amazing time linking up with Co Wetzel. Wasn't able to get an interview, but he did sign the guitars that we gave, or the guitar we gave away for the scavenger hunt. Now, if I could rewind a little bit, now these scavenger hunts wouldn't be a thing. These prizes wouldn't be a thing without a good friend of mine, Justin Hoppy, the AKA the Rocklahoma Flamingo, and his good buddy, AKA George Washington. With if you had not lived if you haven't had George Washington's tacos. Oh my gosh, salivating just thinking about them. Other than that, he did an amazing scavenger hunt. We've been doing it for a couple of years now. I actually still have one of the guitars because I was holding on to it for safekeeping. So while we're at it, let me show you this beautiful guitar. I have to be careful because the whole front of this thing is signed, and oh my gosh, it has some signatures on them, y'all. Now, here in the coming weeks, Angel will be dropping or releasing the photos from Rocklahoma this past year, and all of the artists who signed the guitars, we got pictures of them, and I'll get a final list to our winners, but we got a lot of people. Now, the reason I bring that up now, because this year, for the first year at Born and Raised, they got a scavenger hunt of their own. Thank you so much to the Redneck Bitches for their involvement in getting this whole thing together and getting a hold of Crystal from Can't Fuck Around and Find Out, as she put together an amazing scavenger hunt as well. We did the whole thing once again. Congratulations to our winner. She got a guitar that was just covered head to toe. Even the bands that I didn't interview came by and signed it, and it actually became a popular thing among the artists. We had some folks who heard about it through some of the other artists and came up there just to sign that guitar. So congratulations to our winner. Now, this next band that I was able to interview, they signed that guitar, but they were also an amazing group of guys, and they actually have, a bit of a rock and roll spirit, and they are so fun to talk to and party with. But why don't y'all check out this interview from The Wilder Blue. Wrong button. Let's try this again. I am your host with the Locks That Rocks, Adam Richmond, and this is the official podcast of Rocklahoma and the Born and Raised Country Music Festival. Hey. And I am surviving with some guys who just lit up the stage. What is up, Wild Blue?
Ow! Yeah. I'm having a good time out here, I tell you what, Adam.
Good, man. Tell me, how is Oklahoma treating you guys?
Well, let's talk to Lyndon first, because you almost didn't survive, right?
Well, I'm surviving, but listen, I didn't have much to eat before I played, and I'm playing the drums, and I'm singing at the same time. The heat picked up, and I saw some stars towards the end of the set. Andy, I had a fan, and Andy took it. Granted, it's his fan. But, it got a little dicey, but I got some water, got me a liquid IV.
Some cheese.
Got me some cheese, some beef. Andy did tell me to eat. I should have listened. But hey, I survived, born and raised. I'm glad I'm here.
You see what happens when you take your bandmate's number one fan? I mean, it's just always bad.
Thank you.
Now, were they stars or were they like pasties? I know people get crazy out here.
Yeah.
They were clown faces.
They were clown faces, but they were tasteful.
Clown.
With a little red nose.
How do you know how they taste?
That's a new one. You guys got totally sidelined. I love it, man. And this energy, like this carries on stage. Tell me, how is it you guys are able to stay serious and perform these songs, but you obviously are having a blast and having fun. How do you keep it light but still stay on beat?
Well, these guys keep us on beat pretty good. Andy's a bass player. All these guys have better timing than I do. They're good at that. They're all funnier than I am.
Oh, come on now.
No, guys. Come on. No.
I'm going to play some boo sound effects right now.
Long story short, it comes natural to this group of guys to have a good time, man. If you can't have a good time being an independent artist, doing music that you love with your buddies, then you got something wrong with you.
Yeah, I agree. Just staying loose, having fun, because if you're having fun, you're going to play well and you're going to sing well. And thankfully, we all get along. That's a blessing.
Absolutely. Now, tell me a little bit how you guys found each other.
Oh, boy. Well, one day, this is Paul, by the way, I got a text from Zane Williams out of nowhere. It said, "Hey, man, we should start a band together." And I was a little taken aback because I wasn't expecting that. I was playing with Kevin Fowler at the time, but I was like, well, yeah, Zane is one of the best songwriters I know, and I have to do that. And so I said yes, and then I was like, well, I know the drummer. If we need a singing drummer, because Zane wanted everybody to be a singer in the band, I was like, well, I know the singing drummer. It was Lyndon Hughes.
Yes, indeed. I got a call I just got a random call. Normally, I don't answer random calls, but I got a call. I picked it up. I was like, hello, and he was like, hey, is this Lyndon? I'm like, yep. He's like, well, this is Zane Williams. And I was like, hello. I was already a Zane Williams fan, and I just got off the road playing with Roger Krager, and I was full-time in the recording studio at the time. And he sent me Dixie Darlin'. I listened to it. I freaked out. And I was like, I'm your drummer, and I'm in the band now. And it, hadn't even gone through the audition process yet, but I knew this was my gig, playing with, and I knew Paul, and so it was pretty special. And then we got together, just the three of us, sang that song, recorded it in the studio for a little demo, and I thought it was magic. And then it's off from there. Yeah.
Was it magic for you guys? Like, was it lightning in a bottle? Like, I nailed it, and then it's like from there, or did you have to like hustle?
There were some hiccups along the road. I don't want to make it sound too easy. So next step, we had Andy playing bass, and we made some demos, the four of us, and then he added banjo and dobro, and his banjo and dobro playing were so good that we decided to move him to that and go find another bass player. We went through two different bass players that didn't work out, and it was kind of a low point there for a little while. We still didn't have a bass player, I'd say 3 months before our first gig. We had mostly finished the first record, and we still hadn't found the guy. And then I saw online that Sean Rodriguez had stepped away from the Bree Bagwell gig that he was playing to focus on other projects and rest up for a while. So I gave him a call, just praying that the universe would make him want to do something like what we were doing.
That's not exactly how I remember it. I remember driving in the middle of the night, and there was a bright flash of light, and then I woke up on the side of the road to my phone ringing, and it was Zane, and I was like, sure, whatever, take me to a hospital, whatever. No, I'm kidding. No, they scooped me up pretty quick, and it was fun. That first time together in the room was breathtaking.
Ooh. So you guys have found each other now. You've got lightning in a bottle. You guys are feeling good. You've got the chemistry. Tell me about playing in that heat on that Born and Raised stage today.
Well, it felt good. We did a 45-minute set. A lot of folks out there that are probably hearing us for the first time. So, we always give it 100%, but extra because we're making new fans today. I don't think we've really played much in Oklahoma yet as a band.
Only been a whole lot.
And it's good to see some of our friends side stage, from the Cody Johnson band, and some of Wade Bowen's guys were hanging out. We know all those guys. We've all been in this Texas music scene for a while. Just the Wilder Blue has only been a thing for 4.5 years now, and half of that was canceled because of COVID. Old Dudes Young Band. Yeah, I like that.
Middle-aged dudes, please. Middle-aged dudes, young band.
So with that being said, folks, now you've hooked them all. You've got a ravenous audience that loved what they saw today. What are you most excited about to show them? And your music, what do you guys got going on right now?
We just have the next record coming out. We're very excited. It's different, but it's some of the same for us. A lot of harmonies, instrumental stuff, thoughtful arrangements, great songwriting by Zane. It's just a new, different approach to the same band, I think, in a sense.
Yeah, I think probably our strongest thing is our harmonies. That's what Zane's idea of starting the band was for it to be a harmony band. So we hope to go out there and do that one thing that not a lot of people do right now, which is we all sing and we all can, do it okay, pretty good, I guess. I don't know.
Good enough they had you here, so it can't be all that bad. So now you mentioned writing. Now you guys are all doing harmony, but you're also, how does that work for you? What all do you all bring, or do we have an established writer in the band, or how does that work for you all?
Well, we all have a lot of different multi-talented things that we bring, and basically whatever anybody brings to the table, this band, we use it, and that was my goal, was to find 5 people that are exceptional, and then whatever the 5 of us sound like together is what it is. So I end up writing a lot of the songs. That's sort of my forte. Paul writes some of the songs. We've written a few as a band, and we're interested in doing more of that in the future. And then Lyndon does a lot of studio stuff, so he mixes the records and does a lot of the engineering while we're in the studio because that's what he is trained for and has experience with. And then Andy plays every instrument known to man, and then Sean brings the funky hat style to the next level, amongst other things. But so it's kind of like whatever. Definitely, if anybody has an idea, it's fair game. This is a team effort. Whatever we do is a team effort.
I like that. Now, I'm more from the rock and roll side of things, but one thing I love about country musicians and this genre as a whole is it's always more about the story and telling a story and sharing, stories with the world, whether it's personal or just something rattling around in your head. Do you got any real big story songs that you guys? I'm going to take y'all on an adventure.
Most every song is a story song in some form or another.
Sure.
I mean, Zane is a master of spinning yarns.
Yeah, Paul
wrote
has one of the best story songs called "Excuse Me." You guys should look that one up for sure.
You definitely want to check that out. But also, I'm a rock and roll guy. There's a lot of Led Zeppelin I think of when we're working on stuff, because it's not just about rocking. It's about being tasteful, right? And it's like a nice tasteful thing can be pretty complex or fun or interesting and move the story along. So a lot of times I think when we're arranging stuff, the story is always the forefront, but we're always trying to push the instrumental stuff to like reinforce the story hard,
Absolutely. So speaking of what's on the horizon, what's next? What are you guys gearing up for?
Well, we just pretty much finished album 4, coming out early spring. We're hoping. Almost done mixing it right now. Going to send it off to mastering. Woo. Got just some bangers, man. Y'all are going to love it. Very excited about that. We got a bunch of opening dates around here that we're doing. We're opening up for a bunch of dates for Midland. What else we got, brother?
Lee Bryce.
Yep.
A couple dates with Lee Bryce coming up. Some Charles Wesley Godwin dates coming up in the fall. We're doing one this coming weekend and then some more later.
Red Rocks opening up for Flatland.
Yeah, with
Randy Rogers.
We got a date we're doing with Stoney LaRue and Josh Abbott. That's going to be a fun time. More people we don't get to see too often,
Let me tell you, you guys like playing Oklahoma. Stoney LaRue is a staple around here. He will teach you everything you know around here.
He's the man.
We're going to be in the campgrounds later talking about that Oklahoma breakdown. So tell you guys what, before I let you all go, I know you guys got a busy night. Before I let you all go, I like to give everybody the opportunity to directly address their fans, the people who watched you today, the people who are loading you into their playlist. Guys, the stage is yours.
Ooh.
Yeah, well, we couldn't do what we do if we didn't have people who really live and breathe music. And I think of music as a language that everybody understands, but not everybody can speak. And so I really think we've got fans that are just as dialed into the music as we are, even if they can't play or sing. They talk to us about every little nuance of the harmonies or of the rhythm or how tight we are. And so fans that dig that kind of stuff, we make music that we think is cool, and we do the kind of stuff that we dig. And if our fans are hearing that same thing and they dig that same type of thing, those are the people that really keep us going and allow us to do what we do. We have a fan part of our website where you can subscribe, get our music as we create it, and we take that subscription money, and that's our recording budget. So that keeps us independent. So it's all about the fans for us.
Yeah, we love you, fans.
We love you.
We love you.
I can't finish up with anything else. I appreciate you guys for joining me so
absolutely.
much.
Thanks for having us, Adam.
Once again, folks, I'm Adam, the host with the Locks That Rocks. This is the official podcast of Born and Raised Country Music Festival. Until next time, rock. Once again, that was my interview with the Wilder Blue. These guys were just an absolute pleasure to hang out with, and they just really captured me with their story. They're just totally down-to-earth people who just love to perform. And as I was looking for a musical number to feature from the band, I stumbled across this one, which is not exactly their newest one, but man, it does it in capture their journey and what it's like to travel with the band. So you watched the interview, you got to know them from your Born and Raised 2024 lineup. This is the Wilder Blue.
Still in the running, still taking it day by day, still getting up early, putting in the work, pushing through the hurt, baby. Don't count me out long as I'm above ground, 'cause I'm still in the running, still gonna wind up running this town. You've been out sunning, smoking with the big guns. Yes, I'm running. You don't know what I'm running from. I've been down, I ain't going back. Yeah, you might have heard I got a little off track, but I'm still in the running, still taking it day by day, still getting up early, putting in the work, pushing through the hurt, baby. Don't count me out long as I'm above ground, 'cause I'm still in the running, still gonna wind up running this town. Got your heated seats set on cruise control, but easy streets steal your heart and soul, because heart and soul's about all I've got. I'm in the outside lane, but I'm coming in hot. Still in the running, still taking it day by day, still getting up early, putting in the work, pushing through the hurt, baby. Don't count me out long as I'm above ground, 'cause I'm still in the running, still gonna wind up running this town. Still taking it day by day, still trying to find a way. Hey, hey, hey.
And that was Still in the Running from the Wilder Blue. Thank you guys in the Wilder Blue for sitting down with me and sharing your experience. And not only that, but allowing us to play that song. Studio audience, give them some love, folks, from the comments. Give them those reacts, give them those hearts. Let them know that you love that song. You don't have to love country to love good music. All right, yeah, I just lost my entire country audience on that one. So sorry, y'all, but I wanted to say is you don't have to be an avid country fan to love great music like that and love such a story. And I love to watch those guys perform. That was just one of dozens of bands that played at Born and Raised 2024. The camps were amazing. around and find out. Man, they've surpassed all of their records once again. That place was a freaking nightclub out there. Just they had their designated area which they kept contained, and it was just packed full of people. Cheers to At Your Service Reynolds for having plenty of shitters out there for everybody to that could support the crowd of that size. They also had, excuse me, sorry. They also had a couple of pools out there, so they had a couple of contests.
Giggity.
And as well as a flatbed pole or a flatbed trailer that acted as a stage for certain poles. People do what they do. Giggity. It was awesome. So with that being said, man, and there was a lot of other camps that have also followed lead, and they're starting to develop their own parties as well. So as somebody who has covered Rocklahoma for going on 10 years now, just watching the evolution of Rocklahoma, and then now seeing Born and Raised come up, and it is also becoming its own party. It's just so awesome to watch the evolution of that. And the weekend was just an absolute blast. Everybody was super cool, super chill. The wild parties were out there if you wanted the wild, but the mild was out there too if you just wanted to sit around. There's also a lot of musicians in a country audience, and anybody with a guitar just wants to tell a story and sing a song, and that's one of my favorite parts of going to that festival. You never know where the people where these awesome people are going to come out of the shadows. Yes, Christy, it's a superpower. What can I say? But thank you so much again, the Wilder Blue. Remember, folks, I've got almost a dozen interviews from Born and Raised. I'm working on getting them out this week so that I'm ready for that music festival this coming weekend at Rock the Equinox 2024 and Shotgun Funeral. Blow this up so I can see it better. Peepers in here. There we go. Social Tragedy, Five Body Blade, Treacherous, Groucho, Dime Store Riot, The Normandy's in Fall, 1,000 Years Wide is going to be your headliner for Friday night. Widow 7, let's not forget, they played Incarceration, and you can see them for free Saturday as your headliner. There's a lot of bands. We featured several of them, multiple bands we feature regularly here. One of these bands, I just absolutely love a great cover of a song that you just can't get out of your head. And I actually like their cover better than the original. I'll let you guys be the judge. Maybe they'll play this song this weekend. This is Groucho with, I can't...
Make wine from your tears.
on, give it an audience. Yes. Golly, man, I love that song. I love that cover, and I can't wait to see him this week at Rock the Equinox 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, it's a free show, free admission, free camping. Have no excuse. Load up the kids. Come on down to Lake John Wells in Stigler, Oklahoma. I've even bringing a bouncy house. So we got a bouncer for the kids, little mosh pit training area. Not really safe in there. But don't do anything we would do. Now, for the adults, we got non-stop metal from mid-afternoon until the late evening, probably around midnight or so. I don't know when. They'll announce that schedule later. But, yeah, I just can't wait this weekend. And if you're like me, bring your own kayak. Bring a kayak, borrow one from a friend or a family member. Bring them down there. We'll, who knows, we maybe even do a wake and bake on the lake. You never know. There's great fishing down there. The water feels great. There's a dock. Ugh, you can't lose. With that being said, y'all, it is time for us to go ahead and start winding down the show. But, we always sum up every episode is we gotta say thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in to the live stream. We have expanded. We are now not only on Facebook and YouTube and all of those other platforms, but are also on all of your major podcast networks, including iHeartRadio and Amazon and Audible. So it's absolutely awesome. But anywhere you tune in, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. But remember, bands, if you want to be featured here on Surviving Rocklahoma, it's easy. All you got to do is submit your music. Rock the box, y'all, and include your gigs as well, so we know where you guys are going to be playing. It's easy. Just send me an email, survivingrocklahoma@gmail.com. But it doesn't matter where you are consuming our content, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or those podcast networks where we mentioned. Like, follow, subscribe, and all of that great stuff. We surely do appreciate you. Now, we've also got a couple of other things that we like to do around here. Excuse me. Got off track there. But, let's once again, let's give a lot of love to our sponsors, the folks who help keep the show going, helping pay all of those hosting bills. First up is DEB Concerts. I want to rock! As well as At Your Service Rental.
Dinner was full!
Not to be left out is Rock Event. Now, remember, folks, rock the box. Do you know a veteran? Are you a veteran or active serviceman? Maybe a family member, maybe somebody you want to share a little spotlight and recognize. Well, send those service pictures to survivingrocklahoma@gmail.com. We'd love to feature a photo from your veteran or active service man or women or first responders. With a lot of love to all of those folks for whom without we would be in a world of hurt. Those folks are always out there to take care of us and protect us. And with that being said, we also want to give a lot of love to the Rocklahoma bitches. Once again, Vended, who played Rocklahoma. Say it again for
Rocklahoma bitches.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, now I also wanted, to give, speaking of Rockavet, our interview earlier, they wanted to give a special message. Here you go. Take it away, the Wilder one.
Yeah, howdy, y'all. We're the Wilder Blue. We want to give a shout out to all our veterans out there. Music is healing. I hope it brings some healing to you guys. Thank you for your service, and thanks for keeping us free.
Heck yeah.
Thank you.
So once again, that was the Wilder Ones. Thank you so much, guys, for sitting down with this. But yes, we were talking about the redneck bitches who donated those guitars that the Wilder Ones signed, along with several other artists from the Born and Raised lineup. And a huge shout out to Christy and Kendra. Also want to give a lot of love to the Big Old Bus, bringing a busload of debauchery to a music festival near you, not only Rocklahoma, but this weekend at at Rock the Equinox, where they'll have all kinds of activities. Make sure you check them out on Facebook. We also want to give love to Metalcore Clothing for producing our shirts. The Tribal Skull shirt that was produced by photography by Angel Lee, also the proud member of my local music scene. Both of those shirts, along with our first edition shirts that says the official podcast of Rocklahoma, in limited supply, limited sizes. All three shirts will be with me at my vendor table. So if you would like to get you some Surviving Rocklahoma merch, this weekend is a great time to do it. Save yourself $5 on the shipping and handling. Without Metalcore Clothing, we would not have a plethora of shirts that we can get out to our listeners. So thank you so much, Metalcore Clothing. Also, photography by Angel Lee will be in attendance this weekend with her big camera lens, getting photos of not only the bands but the fans who make up these festivals. So if you see our own Rebel Angel, make sure that you give her a nice pose and look pretty for the camera so she can get a great shot of you. You can find photos from Photography by Angel Lee on Facebook. That's where she posts all those photos. So also want to finish off this one for one last cheers to a successful show, to a smooth show, and to all of you folks who joined us in the comments. On behalf of Prior Liquors, Wines, and Spirits, cheers to you all. But I came here tonight to sit down and do two things: podcast and drink some beer. Looks like I'm all out of beer. So it's time for me to say goodnight to you folks. Remember, as always, stay on the positive side of life, and until we see each other next, rock on.